So your skill can be monetized in 4 ways. In Valucop, we call it your value delivery strategies. So it's a 4-part value delivery strategies. And if you know how to maximize these 4-part value delivery strategies, you're going to create both active and passive income with your skills. Now, this doesn't mean that they start giving you, the passive ones just start giving you money instantly. But in the long run, it gives you money. The reason why it's called passive income is that it's setting it up might be tasking, but in the long run, you are sleeping, you're doing other things in your life, and you are earning because you've put in your effort once. You put in your effort once, and then it's now yielding returns. Can you see? Are you still hearing me? Can you still hear me now? Should I proceed?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, proceed.
Yes, I
Yeah,
can.
I can hear you.
Okay. So, um, so the first one is your skill as a service. There are 4 of them: skill as a service, skill as a product, your skill as a training, and your skill as a remote job. Now, your skill as a service is also known as freelancing. And in freelancing, you have different clients that you pitch to, and then when they onboard you, you will do a job. It's usually a one-time job, or maybe sometimes it can be contract based. They keep you on the side to handle stuff for them. For example, content writing now. You might have someone, maybe a CEO of a company, and they want you to do ghostwriting for them, ghostwrite content for them. You know what ghostwriting is? Ghostwriting means that they don't have time to write their own content, so you write it for them and they publish it as their own, and they can pay you per per content or they can pay you per hour, right? And it's usually per content, so you can easily negotiate. You can negotiate per tweet. Maybe you do $2, for example, $2 per tweet, and then you make it, if it's a longer content, you can make it $5 per LinkedIn content, or $5 per, if it's an article, you cannot make it $10 per 500 words, right? Or per 300 words, something like that. So that's your skill as a service. Then we now have your skill as a product, where you have experience now. You've been offering your skill for a while, using your skills for a while. You've learned a lot, and then there are challenges you encountered while using your skill, and you found solutions to it. So you decided that you want to help other persons overcome those challenges, and you now package these things as a product. That is where you now see people publishing books, either as a hard copy or they publish it as a soft copy on Amazon, and or as video products. So people now have to pay to access these video products. Now, the skill as a product is very common outside this country, because they have different platforms that help them to monetize their skill as a product. For example, outside Nigeria, there's a platform called Gumroad. Most persons on Twitter, they use Gumroad to publish, to sell their skills as a product. In Nigeria, we don't really have as many platforms like that, whereby you can sell your skills and you can sell your skills on. We have, the only one that's accessible to people is Udemy. On Udemy, did you know that if you sell your skill on Udemy, you get to keep 97% of your money, and only 3% goes to Udemy if you sell your skill as using your referral link, because everybody, and it's free to set up. On Udemy now, you can set up your account on Udemy as a tutor, and then you just package what you know, those things that you've learned so far in your skill, you package it to teach somebody else, and you keep getting in flows. But then if somebody finds your course randomly on Udemy, as a tutor, you earn, I think that's 5% of the money. But if someone buys via your referral link, you keep 97% of it. So this is I think so far so good. Udemy is a place where skilled people can publish their course and monetize it like for free. Not entirely for free, but when you get paid, Udemy keeps part of the money. So we also have skill as a remote job, which is what we are teaching today, whereby you get crypto jobs and you get paid for your skill every month. Every month. And you can handle 2 to 3 jobs depending on how flexible the jobs are. Some jobs are not very flexible, while others are that you can combine them with other stuff. So we now have skill as a training. Now this is where you now hold live trainings or cohort-based training. Cohort-based training means that it's not one-on-one. There's one-on-one. One-on-one is somebody pays like $200 to teach them something for like 3 hours. Then cohort-based means like the way you people are now. All of you paid. So normally in a cohort-based setting, you charge lower because you're teaching people as a group. But a one-on-one, you charge higher because it's just that person for that period. The person is taking your time exclusively. So these are 4 different ways that you can create. So now, out of all of this, product-based is passive income. Service-based, training, and remote job are active incomes. So eventually, if you can you can use your experience from remote job, service-based, and training to create a product that will be evergreen. So I'm giving you this insight now to help you to limit yourself and into trying to just do a job. If you have the time, we also have a course that helps you to package all these things. The tools you can use a lot of things to package what you know as a product. When you start selling, you'll be grateful you did. Like your stuff is selling. So now, as a service now, not as a freelance now, I'm going to emphasize on 2 things in this class: the freelance part as a service and as a remote job. Now, the reason why you should not just always look for a job, you should also look into freelance, is because at the freelance level, you can target as many clients as possible, and sometimes it can be a one-time job, or it can be repetitive, or it can contract based. Now, there's something I'm going to emphasize in this class, and one of them is the freelance part. So I'm going to show you how to get your clients for the both of them, and I will expect feedback, like when you apply these things, and tell me what worked for you, what didn't work, and which of them gave you response. And so, like I said, I'm going to address content writing, community management, and growth marketing. So far, so good. Are you guys following? Are you with me now? Are you still with me?
Yes, ma'am.
Does it make sense so far? Is it
Yeah, sure.
confusing?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Okay. So now I'm going to start with the remote job. Now, in a remote job setting, the dynamics, like I said, dynamics have really changed a lot from like 2 years 2 years ago when crypto job wasn't even popular. Now there was crypto job then, but it wasn't as popular. It was the lockdown that made crypto jobs come out. Like it became popular because people had to now learn how to work from home. Remote job became really, really a thing, and it became very, very vital for companies. Companies could exist without having a physical office, as they have a very good work culture. And now we are going to Web3. Things are changing a bit. There's no longer, people are no longer going to employ you for the sake of filling up their how will I put it now? There's going to be fewer persons employing you just because they want to give you a chance. We're entering a time whereby there's a lot of You have to prove yourself. Now, this is not going to make it hard. This means that you have to leverage every opportunity to practice what you know in order to be able to show what you can, the results you can get. Like, I always have a problem with people, with a group of persons who always think that, like, always have the mindset that I want to get a job. Not, and never thinking, what value am I bringing to the table? The questions, the reason why you are looking for a job, actually, the mindset you have when you're looking for a job actually influences the results you have or the way you respond. Now, if you are in Valucop now, we have a culture of what we call value first, a value first mindset. If you have a value first mindset every time, then you are creating opportunities for you for money to come. But if you're always thinking, oh, I need a job, I need a job, I need a job. Of course, we know you need a job. But the question is not you need a job if you need a job. The question is, this company needs so and so person that can do so and so stuff. Can you do it? That's why getting better at what you can do is always important till tomorrow. And getting jobs, that was why I was really happy about the resume. Of course, Elvis, I haven't looked at the last one. I'm really sorry. Like, I have my DMs are like super full. I have over 100 messages I'm not even responding to in over 1 week, like 2 weeks. It's always like a very crazy stuff, but it's fine. But then I like the CV, that the resume that Elvis worked on. You know, he went right immediately and applied the things I said from the last class, the class we held on the 28th. And he implemented those stuff and all of that. So I'm going to look at the latest one he sent, which I've not looked at yet. So it's very important that you know what works now and you apply it. Doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results wouldn't get anybody anywhere. So in this Web3 now, it will be about value creation and value delivery. Your value creation, your value packaging, and your value delivery more than ever. Which is why everybody have been shouting, build in public, build in public. You know, the reason why we emphasize that now, the reason why we emphasize that you should have optimized handles, you should show up on social media, you should engage. It's not because it's because that's where the world is going into, right? The world is going towards where you drop your name. The first thing people do is to go and check out your LinkedIn handle. It even happened to me recently, right? I dropped my name with someone, and then someone contacted me from the company. They contacted me from my LinkedIn account. I didn't even have to drop my LinkedIn account with them. They found me themselves. This is to tell you how far these things are important. Now, what I want to emphasize is whatever you're doing, do it out of love for it and out of the need to deliver value for. Because I notice that one of the reasons why people are not consistent with what they are doing is because they don't even love their skill, or they don't even enjoy the value their skill brings to the next person. If you've ever received a kudos, a thumbs up, or a nice feedback about something you did, that should be enough to encourage you, to tell you that what you do matters. So there's a lot of mindset shift that will happen this period, because people are going to notice that nobody is going to start looking into your face and say, okay, in fact, it's going to happen very few. So that means we need to increase our capacity. We need to increase our desire to deliver value more than we need a job. Do you get? Now, let me use my brother as a scenario. Now this, so this is I'm telling you now, so that's things I learned from my brother. My younger brother is someone that I respect a lot. I respect him a lot because he's a value first person, and he's been one of my biggest supporters, like, ever in this whole my journeys, skill sets, and all of that. And most of the opportunities he has gotten, he didn't have to, he didn't even need to apply for it. He was just always present on Twitter. Funny enough, he's not even much of a LinkedIn person, but he has a LinkedIn account. But he was always present on Twitter, and they contacted him. And then he just simply, he showed them what he could do. It was the data it was the results of what he did that they used to negotiate a salary for. If I tell you how much he earns now, you'll be amazed. And this was not, but it was not an initial discussion. The discussion for salary was after he has proven that he can get the result he talked about. They even had to design a role for him. They had to design a role for him. They asked him, they told him we're trying to think about a role, name of the role to give you. They crafted a role out for him. They saw what he was doing in Nigeria and in an Africa community. And that was when they started talking about salary. So my brother at first wasn't after, give me a job. No. What he did was he identified the fact that they don't have a community in Nigeria and in Africa. They were expanding to other countries, right? But they didn't have anyone in Africa. So he told them he's going to create the community. He created it, launched everything, and started getting results and showed them the result. It was from that result that they now used to offer him a salary. I'm talking about no child's play. That amount in your head is the amount he's earning now. So why am I laying emphasis on all of this? Like I said, the way things are really going to tilt towards, it's not about giving you a job. It's about what can you do for us? That's the question people are always asking. That was why if you took the course, I think I laid emphasis on, before you apply for a job, always check their handles and see your role now. If you come on board, what difference will your role do in that company? That was why I said I really like the improvements that Elvis did on his resume, because he did it from the result point of view, the result he got in the past point of view, right? So it's not the era we're in now is a result-based platform. That's why I said if you have opportunity to practice, even if it is for free, record your results and you can hit your chest and say, this is what I can achieve for you, and I can even do more based on the things I've learned. So moving on from that, so the first thing first for a content writer is to have a portfolio, which I believe some of you have. You have a portfolio. What's a portfolio? A portfolio is a document whereby you put in, as a writer, it's expected that you know how to write. Not just knowing how to write for the internet, for your readers online. Now, that is why your content must always be properly formatted for the right platform. If you're writing on Twitter, right, there's a way to write on Twitter. There's a way to write on LinkedIn. There's a way to write an article, both for readability's sake and for search engine's sake. These are things you pay attention to. And you can easily say you know how to create optimized content that brings engagement. Now, I don't know if some of you know that one of the things that I do is I work for Gamic. Gamic is a gamify platform where people play games to earn. It has a guild, and we are currently working on a product which will come out next year. So now I create their content, I write their content, and I found out that the LinkedIn content we are not getting engagement as it should. I didn't just continue doing the same thing I was doing over again, expecting a different result, hoping that people will engage. No, I had to ask questions. And then something came to my mind. and I tried it out and it worked. I tracked that result. I was able to tell the company that, okay, this was improvement we had, and this is the reason why we got that. This is what I tried, and we got this result. So now we now know this is the angle we should be going towards. Now we now have more engagement on the LinkedIn content than before. So if something is not working, it's not because necessarily because what you are doing is you're on the wrong path. It's probably maybe you are not. There's a hack you need. There's something you need to switch up, in how you present what you do. And this is a process of always keep. I'm someone that learn a lot. I like learning. I like learning, and I like applying, because I don't believe in just learning. I believe that results come from application, and you can never know what works until you apply it, right? So why did I give you all this scenario now? I'm painting a picture for you and a mindset that you need to use and approach this things. And a doggedness that says, this thing works, it can work for me. So the next thing is your portfolio now. Every content writer needs a portfolio. I mean, a portfolio that's updated. We are in an era of Web3. That means as a content writer, and in Web3 is user-based, is user-friendly. With Web3, we have two things. Either you're B2B or you're B2C. What I mean by B2B or B2C is that you're creating content for direct clients, the direct users to consume, direct consumers, or you're creating content that another business will use. That's what I mean by B2B and B2C. So the way you write for an average person, and as a writer, there's this thing we keep always say, you must always identify your readers, identify who your target audience is. That will always impact on the engagement of your content. Always identify who you're writing for. Now, if you're building your own personal handle, you must always identify where your stand is, what your niche is, and who you are addressing. It will influence how simple or how complex your English will sound. For example, Elvis writes content for I've seen his content is around Credo. Now, Credo is a project that is not all audience, like it's targeted to a specific audience. If you don't write for that audience, it's not going to get any traction. Now, in identify that audience, that's when it's going to influence what kind of English should you use. Should your English be simple, or should you use industry terms? Now, we are dealing with a direct customer, a direct consumer, a direct user. It means that you need to simplify all the English. For example, you can come out and say Web3. If I would say Web3, just Web3, it means that you're expecting people that are already the crypto natives to understand what you're talking about. But if you expect more people, if your target audience are people that they are newbies in the space, and they are still coming on board, it means that you need to now break down what is Web3 in simpler terms. I don't know if I'm saying in my case. I also believe that the ones people here are the content writers.